Adobe have done some amazing things in the most recent version of Photoshop. And it all has to do with selections. Yes, it's imperative that you know how to make your selections using channels. But there are some other tricks that can get you closer to perfection. They're great helpers. One is not the magic wand. The magic wand is not what you want to reach for when you're trying to get a great selection. Channels, yes. Perhaps the subject, select, focus, select, sky select. These are new. Adobe have a code name for their artificial intelligence. They call it sensei, like a martial arts guru, right? Your sensei. That's the name they give their artificial intelligence. Like Adobe gives sensei name, Apple does the same thing with Siri. Siri is Apple's artificial intelligence, and many other companies have these sorts of things. Alexa, right? So it goes on. But in the most recent versions, the artificial intelligence has really improved. I'm going to share with you another example in this bonus video of something that you could utilize. You'll find it may help. Under the select menu, I've already shown you select a focus area. I haven't had the greatest of luck with that, but they're improving, so don't give up. Keep trying on your images. Color range, you could choose, right? I want to select all the blue stuff. I could select a color range with this tool. Subject. This one is blowing my mind. And you saw us select the lady with the hair, right? Well, I'm going to show you again later how selecting with subject now is so much more vastly improved that I can actually rely on it. Sky selection. But there's another selection tool here that's hidden. I gave it no credit until the most recent version of Photoshop. And it's called the object selection tool. You've got several tools, of course, but somewhere either buried in one of these apartment complexes, right? Or you may find that yours is nowhere to be seen. And if that's the case, which happens, go to the very bottom. There are 3 dots, dot, dot, dot. Now it's interesting. The dot, dot, dot tells me that there are other tools in there. I could edit my toolbar. Let me show it to you again. Dot, 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 edit my toolbar. And there are some tools that may or may not be showing already in your toolbar. You can drag them over and put them in whatever apartment together with whatever tools you'd like. And so if you don't see this object selection tool, if you don't see it, you'll find it in here and you can drag it over. I can save sets of tools. I can save configurations of tools and so on. But for now. So I found my object selection tool. And when you pick it, I want you to look up. And when you look up, there's something called the object finder. And you'll see these arrows spinning. When you grab that tool, look up and those arrows will be spinning. Mine have already completed while I was just discussing this for you. And while they're spinning, it's saying, I'm looking around. The artificial intelligence called Sensei is looking around at groups of pixels and trying to determine what certain subjects may be, objects. With the tool highlighted, I'm going to sneak down and hover over this hooded oriole. And when I hover, it has already figured out that set of clump of pixels might be an object. It was such a good result. This might be an object. That's incredible. This separate, that's separate. How does it know? These may be objects. It's not perfect. It's just incredible. And if I click on the object, then it actually makes a selection from it. Command D for deselect. With the object finder selected that tool. I look up. If my arrows aren't still moving, Sensei isn't still thinking. He's already got it. And I want you to look next to that. And there's a little icon with lots of squares, and it says, show me all the things you think are objects I could select. So this is how you might work with this new and improved, vastly improved selection tool. If I see all my objects, I know it thinks that the Oriole is one of them. I'm going to go hover, click. By my nature, here's how I would work with this. I would select it, Command-J jump, or Control-J on the PC, and there is the Oriole isolated. Now, another way I could play the game is to make a selection of the Oriole before I jump it and save that as a stencil, save it as a channel, and then go get a good look at it, because I can see there was a mistake. This is why a knowledge of channels is so important to you, no matter what of these subject selection tools or object selection tools you might use. I save the selection and I can see in stark black and white, oh yeah, it skipped a big chunk of the bird's wing. Why did it do that? I don't know. Sensei is artificial intelligence, but he's still not a genius. I just want you to know this tool exists. And so I'm going to choose our techniques. Paint, brush in this case, paint more whole. I'm going to paint more whole and fix it. I fixed the stencil before I used the stencil. Then I command click on the Mac or control key click on the PC to load that stencil. Then I command or control J to jump it. I still utilize channels. They're still necessary. Some say necessary evils. But it makes artificial intelligence almost genius.